pet or whatever type of pet you have, your Valentine, or do all your Valentines walk upright? None of my Valentines walk upright. Well, maybe Denise does, but the rest of them walk on all fours. So we'll talk about that. Do you consider your dog or cat Valentine's Day? But more important, anyone out there buy gifts for their pets on Valentine's Day? No chocolate, of course, but does anyone out there buy gifts for their dog? Give me a call. Let me know. I will send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA. The phone number, 866-870-5752. Let me start out with this call. I don't know where this call is going to go, so I don't know if I can help her, but let's go to Xavier in Pacoima. Hi, Xavier. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Warren. I don't know, like you just said right now, if you can help me, but I was wondering maybe you can refer me or maybe you have a suggestions or something that I can do. But the thing is, about 7 months ago, my dog here at the shop, it's a junkyard dog, licensed junkyard dog, so it attacked my neighbor's dog. It injured it, so I took care of the vet bill. Everything was resolved. Animal control came over, gave me a citation. I complied. Everything's in order. And the thing is that, so 7 months went by, and then they come back saying they have to remove her from my property. I mean, she's 14 years old, and she posed no threat. It was an accident.
Let me ask you a question. Where did your dog attack another dog? I understand that. Where was your dog when the attack took place?
It was my property, but the thing is, the neighbor of that person, my neighbor, it's like a shelter place, run by the city anyway, LA Housing. So he told me that she opened the gate. I get here to my shop, I close the gate, I feed her, and meantime I do other things. The gate. So
just so I don't run out of time, let's see if I can be a little more analytical about that. Don't be sorry. So the dog was on your property. Her dog came onto your property. Your dog
No, she was walking on the sidewalk, and my dog went out on the sidewalk.
Oh, so your dog left your property at that point, whether she opened the gate or not. So your dog left your property. How severely was the other dog injured?
She had some punctures on her abdomen.
Okay. And there's never been any other aggressive behavior on your dog's part towards another dog or a person?
Oh no, never.
Okay. So your dog went after a dog one time, which is bad enough.
Yes.
Bottom line is, it was an accident from the perspective that someone opened the gate. You usually keep it closed. You've had the dog for 13 years, and he's never done this before. So it seems to me that there was no intent involved. So why is the city or the county or whatever coming to take your 14-year-old dog away from you? I don't understand that.
Neither do I. I mean, my God, I've been so devastated. I mean, she's loved, well taken care of. I take her for a walk this is her home. This is all she knows. So
it sounds to me like, if you're telling me everything that I need to know, it only happened one time. Other than that, you've had the dog all these years, and the dog was fine. Then my personal opinion is that the shelter coming to you to take away a 14-year-old dog, which is going to immediately put to sleep when they take it to the shelter, is absolutely ludicrous. But now I can only base my opinion on what you're telling me. You're telling me, how long have you had the dog?
Yeah, for all her life, ever since she was born.
So you've had the dog since she was a puppy, and there's never been any case. There's never been any case whatsoever where anyone has charged you or reported that your dog has been aggressive towards them or toward their dog.
No, never. And the thing is, they tell me that the person my neighbor kept going there at least 2 or 3 times a week, saying to remove the dog. I mean, it's like my dog is so docile. Even the officer, when they came by, when they took the report.
Does your dog get along well with everybody, people?
Oh yes.
So what I would do is I would contact an attorney that specializes in dog law. If you Google dog lawyers in Southern California, you'll come up with a bunch of them. I would talk to that attorney, but the bottom line is this. I cannot possibly, and again, I'm going on what you're telling me, I cannot possibly understand why a dog you've had for 14 years has never shown aggression, has never bitten anyone, accidentally got out of the property for whatever reason, went after another dog, dog. I understand he injured the dog. You took care of the veterinary costs. He never went again. I cannot imagine that the shelter has the right to come take your dog at this point. But then again, I'm not an attorney.
I mean, that's what I also, they tell me, they suggested, I called one of the officers there at the shelter, and they suggested that I send an email to the field supervisor, which I did, and they got back to me. They called me, and they says, "Well, you have to talk to the officer." So they're playing ping pong with me. It's like
forget about that. What I need you to do, I just did this for someone the other day. Go online, Google animal attorneys located in Southern California, and go and speak to them directly. The other thing that you can do is we have some attorneys that listen to the show, not always, so they may respond to me. If you can send me an email at mail@thepetshow.com, mail@thepetshow.com. All right.
Again, Mr. Warren.
Mail at-thepetshow.com. Simple. Mail at the pet show there. Send me an email there, and if one of my listeners happens to be involved with the law, they contact me. I will try to put the two together. But in the meantime, I would Google animal lawyers located in Southern California, and I'm sure you're going to find somebody. Because if you're telling me everything that there's no reason that these people should have the right to take a 14-year-old.
Mr. Warren. I mean, that's why I'm devastated right now, because it's it's not only that. The other day, I put down my other dog, that home dog, and I put her down. She has cancer, it's spreading quickly, so I put her down. That's
obviously, it sounds to me like you're a dog lover, okay? But what I want you to do is I gave you my email. Keep me posted, and if they do come and take the dog away from you, I want to know about that right away. Taking a 14-year-old dog with a one-time incident is absolutely insanity. What you can do is maybe...
Not only that, Mr. Warren, everything's in order.
That's fine. That can be. She could be perfect. I just don't understand why they would be considering taking away. I got to move on. So anyway, what I want you to do,
Mr. Warren, thank you so much.
No, don't go anywhere. Send me that email. That's important. In the meantime, I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you some Orthosooth Gold for your 14-year-old dog to keep those hips and joints. Sounds insane. How about you guys? Give me a call. What do you think about that? Give me a call. Let me know. The phone number 866-870-KRLA. Let me take a quick break, then we'll get back to all of your phone calls. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. dogs are beautiful. All cats are beautiful. Hey, you're listening to The Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Want to find out why your dog or cat behaves the way they do? They're jumping, humping, digging, scratching. Cat peed on your bed. Doesn't come when you call him. Cat refuses to use the litter box. Dog is digging up your backyard. Humps everything in sight. Jumps on top of your friends when they come over. That's what this show is all about, helping you resolve any issues. Just a reminder that everyone that calls into the show and does get to talk to me live on the air will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. As I said earlier, many of them worth $45, $50, even more. On today's show, it's no different. I'll be giving away my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats for dogs, and there's one for cats. I'll also be giving away Arthrosuit Gold. You heard me give some away already for your dog or cat's hips and joints. Copies of my best-selling books, either How to Get Your Dog or How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. Kitty Lickies, which cats absolutely love. I'll also be giving away lots of Lucy pet food, those t-shirts that say none of my friends walk upright, and flea spray. So everyone that calls in and gets to talk, all natural flea spray, by the way, everyone that calls in and talks to me live on the air will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat, even if you just want to answer my question of the day. And it's pretty simple. Can our dogs and cats sense our emotions? Do they know when we're happy? Do they know when we're sad? Do they know when we're depressed? Give me a call and a great gift will be on its way for your best friend. 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let me go to my friend Renee, calling all the way, it looks like, from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Renee, how you doing?
Hey, good morning. Doing very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing fabulous. How's everything in Atlanta today?
Kind of wet and expecting it to get colder, but we're going to survive.
It's one of my favorite places. I used to do a lot of work, a lot of book tours down in Atlanta. Anyway, what can I do to help you out today?
Well, I help a lot of people with their pets, and I have one right now that in particular is a little baffling because he really cares very little about food or water. He only cares about playing and being with you. He might easily go a day and a half on average and hardly drink a drop, and maybe eat after a day and a half or so. But he'll play and play and play and play as if he has a belly full and can just keep going.
What is his health like, though? What's his weight like? Is he underweight?
He was underweight. He's getting a little weight on him now because the owners hand feed him, which I don't do.
Yeah, so where's the dog? Is the dog with you now? Is the dog with you now?
Pardon me?
Is the dog with you now?
He's right. He is. He's listening right now.
So the people whose dog it is hand feed the dog.
When he doesn't eat after a long period of time, they will hand feed him.
So in other words, what they do is they actually created the problem.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm trying to find a way to help them when they get back from their trip and say, this is what you're going to have to do. He gets up and the first thing he does is play. He'll play and play and play and play and play.
Well, I'm not adverse to the playing. The playing is fine. I'm concerned about the eating, okay? And here's the concern. They play with the dog's food, so therefore they're going to make food as a survival instinct. Leave the food alone. Here's what I'm going to recommend. Number one is let's get a leash and collar for the guardians when they come back and try to educate them a little bit. What I would try to do is right off the bat is I would start feeding the dog out of 2 dishes, and before I fed the dog, I would heat up the food a little bit. And the reason you heat up the food is because dogs eat more with their nose than they eat with their mouth. So smell is more important. And the fact of the 2 dishes, it kind of gives them one a way to go, well, let me look and see what's over there. So that's really, really important. If his weight is good, though, and everything else is good about him, that's fine. I would not be overly concerned. My concern is if, heaven forbid, the guardians go away again, or if something happened to them and the dog is only used to getting fed by hand, then what's going to happen? So we have to make that change. I want you to be really, really strong with them. Tell them what I'm recommending right off the bat is 2 dishes. Heat up the food before they give the dog the food, because again, the nose works when the food is heated up. And the other thing you may want to try to do is just find something that the dog absolutely loves, whether it's chicken, beef, I don't care, and take his dog food, put it in a plastic container, and on the other side of that plastic container, separate it by a piece of cardboard, put his favorite thing. Let that sit in the refrigerator overnight, so now his dog food smells like his favorite treat. Heat it up a little bit, and I think he'll start eating again.
He's on dry dog food.
No, dry dog food's fine, but you might want to try adding a little wet food. That might be important. But I think the heating up is more important. But also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a jar of the Hugs and Kisses supplements. Very often, that will actually increase a dog's appetite and also make sure he's getting all the nutrition. So, what I'm going to do, great call by the way, but I think you really need to either educate the people or call me. I'll try to go through it as much as possible because they're not doing the dog any benefit by feeding him out of hand. So, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you some of the Hugs and Kisses supplements. Heat up the food. Try the treat in the plastic container on the other side. I think it's going to make a big difference for you. Just another example how people often create a scenario with their dog or their cat, and if heaven forbid they're away or something were to happen to them, the dog is so in tune with their way of handling things that it makes it really difficult and sometimes very serious for the person taking care of the dog to get the dog to eat or play. In this case, it's not a play problem, it's an eating problem. Hey, great time to give me a call, by the way. The phone number here, 866-870 KRLA. As I said, I got lots of great stuff to give away. Hugs and Kisses, Authors of Gold, Lucy Pet Food. If you want to check out the face, check it out on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. YouTube.com/ my hair looks good today. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. Great time. Even if you just want to answer my question, come on, guys. Let's be realistic. Do you believe that your dog or your cat knows how you feel? Do you believe that your dog or cat can tell when you're sensitive, when you're upset, when you're happy, when you're depressed? Give me a call. Let me know. I'll send you a fabulous gift. 866-870 KRLA. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let me take a quick break. We'll get back to Rick and Louisa in just a second. You know, And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. I do have a line or two open, which is pretty rare on the show. I got some great stuff to give away, including hugs and kisses and Lucy pet food. So if you have a question or a comment or just want to tell me whether or not you believe that your dogs or cats can sense your emotions, I'd love to hear from you. 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. You know, I get a lot of questions about cats. I believe cats are so intelligent. They can understand it when you call their name. This means that if you call your cat and they ignore you, it's because they don't want to respond, not because they don't know how to respond. I believe that's so true. 866-870-KRLA. Let me get right back to the phone lines here. We've got some great stuff coming up, the really important stuff I want to talk about. Things we can learn from our dogs. We always talk about things we can learn or teach our dogs. One of them is if you stare at someone long enough, you'll get some sort of attention. That is so true. My guy Molly, my girl Molly can just stare at me for like 20 minutes, just looks right in my eyes and just stares at me. And you think I would know better. I've been doing this for a few weeks, but she gets what she wants pretty much all the time. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to Seal Beach and Rick. Hey, Rick, welcome to the Pet Show.
Yeah, thanks for calling for the show. I have a cat that's older, like 18, and she was diagnosed with kidney issues. So the vet gave her KD food, hard food, the kibbles, and Cosequin. So then, but she doesn't like the KD food, so we have to mix it with wet cat food. But she has a hard time eating it. So the first question is there anything we can do to make her the KD kibbles more tasty?
You know, it's exactly it's very similar to the last question I answered for that woman in Atlanta. What I would do is I would take, tuna fish, a salmon, anchovies, and again, I would take that plastic container. As our cats get older, and dogs for that matter, their sense of smell changes. Not only is she not feeling herself, God bless her at 18 years old, but the way things smell to her are entirely different. Things that might have smelled good to her years ago don't smell so good to her now, or she doesn't smell at all. And as I say, cats really do eat with their nose as they get older. So the bottom line is, if you can take some really, really smelly stuff that she likes, put it in half a container, her dry food, the KD, which by the way is made by Colgate-Palmolive, if you can take the KD and put it on the other side, separate it, just let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, that may actually encourage her to eat. If not, you can also try taking some tuna fish in spring water, not giving her the tuna, but just taking some of that spring water and pouring it over her food. Now, I got a couple of questions for you. The fact that she's not eating, has the vet looked at her teeth and gums? Is that part of the problem?
When she's eating, so what we do is I have to grind the KD into fine in the powder and mix the powder in with the wet cat food, and she might eat that more then.
If you have to grind up the dry food to get her to eat it because she's not eating it when it's full. Did she used to eat it when she was younger, when it was regular?
Well, she used to eat the regular kibbles all the time.
Well, so what I'm saying is there's a reason she's not eating the kibbles now, and you have to break them into such small pieces. I would venture to say that there are some tooth and gum issues going on as well, because what happens is when they get older, you know, they're not only their sense of smell, their mouth changes, and 90% of dogs and cats will develop some type of dental or periodontal disease. So I'm sure that's part of it. So by grinding up that food, what you're doing is making it easier for her to chew, and so you may have to continue doing that if that's where she is at 18 years old. But let me give you from my heart to your heart. 18-year-old cat, whatever you got to do to get her eat, that's what you have to do. So if you have to keep grinding that food, that's really important. But it says to me a couple of things. Number one, the sense of smell isn't there, and number two, something about her gums or her teeth are not feeling great, therefore preventing her from eating. So I would just go ahead. You're going to have to do it.
The regular kibbles, but if I mix in the non-ground up KD kibbles with the regular commercial kibbles you buy in the store, she might eat some of it. But
look at it from this perspective. I know what your vets want to do, but you got an 18-year-old cat. Whatever you got to do to get this cat to eat is what you have to do. If the vet prescribes medication,
put catnip on the food.
Yeah, you can try that, but I don't think that's going to make any difference. But if the vet prescribes medicine for your cat and you can't get the cat to take the medicine, then don't expect your cat to get any better. So what I'm saying is have that conversation with your vet. What I'm telling you to do is continue doing what you need to do, but I also believe that grinding up that kibble and also putting that smelly stuff on the side of it, I think we're going to get her to eat at that point. In the meantime, I got to move on, Rick, but I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you something that may encourage her to eat a little bit as well, too. I'm going to send you some kitty lickies from my good friends over at, in fact, I'm going to do a commercial for them in just a couple of seconds. Kitty lickies from my friends over at Lucy Pet Food. Everyone I've sent kitty lickies to, their cats think it's amazing. They just go after it like they're nuts. Great time to give me a call. Plenty of time for your questions and comments. The phone number 866-870-KRLA. You know, I brought this question up about your dog or cat's emotions for a couple of reasons. So many dogs and cats wind up at shelters because people don't understand. Some people just don't get it. That dogs and cats have feelings, that dogs and cats have emotions. And not only do our dogs and cats have emotions, but our dogs and cats can tell how we're feeling. If you've ever gone through stress, anxiety, and who wouldn't over the last couple of years, you'll notice that your dog or your cat may be reacting a little bit more different. They may be more clingy. I've heard that an awful lot from listeners all across the U.S. and Canada. Their dog or cat may become a little bit more clingy. So the bottom line is, and that's why I asked this question, I want to find out from you if you think that your dog or cat is capable of understanding your emotions. Do they know when you're happy and smiling? Do they know when you're sad? Do they know when you're angry or upset or depressed? I'd love to hear from you guys. I think it really is one of the ways that you can establish even a closer relationship with your pet. Give me a call. Let me know. I will send you a great gift. Again, that number 866-870-KRLA. Also coming up on today's show. You know, so many of my listeners, and you guys are absolutely amazing, rescue dogs and cats. I want to hear, there's something called litter mate syndrome. And what happens, a lot of experts are now saying you should never adopt litter mates. Litter mates will never get along with each other. They'll fight with each other. The jealousy factor will be there. When one crosses the rainbow bridge, the severe depression of the other. Never, ever, ever adopt litter mates. I have two in my house right now, Molly and Willie. I've had literally hundreds of not only litter mates, but bonded pairs. So here's what I want to do. If you have litter mates out there that live together, obviously. If you have a bonded pair, I want to hear from you guys. Let's really finally let the world know that it's okay to adopt litter mates. I'm going to talk about it later in more detail. It's okay to have a bonded pair. In fact, I believe it's a good thing. But then again, I'm the renegade sometimes of the pet behavior industry. So I say honestly, I'd love to hear from you guys. If you have litter mates or bonded pairs, give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. And I will send you a great gift if you get through, whether it be hugs and kisses for your dog or cat, copies of the best-selling book, Dog or Cat, hemp seed oil from Nature Vet, Lucy Pet Food, Kitty Lickies, T-shirts, hemp seed oil. Again, the number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. You know, It is so cool to be a cat. We are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Helene, Rob, Eloise, Betty, I'm going to try to get to all your calls. We got a whole hour to go, but listen to me. This is the reason I brought up whether or not pets have emotions, because I'm always the rogue of the industry. I'm the bad boy. I'm the black sheep of the industry, and here's why. According to this, all dog, and I'm reading specifically, so I'm using the word owner, all dog owners like to think that their dog or cat can sense their mood and emotions. Although researchers now accept that dogs and other non-human animals can experience primary emotions such as anxiety, fear, and anger, they still do not accept that animals have a sense of self and are capable of sophisticated secondary emotions. Scientists believe that non-human animals, that means our dogs and our cats, are incapable of understanding the feelings of the people they live with. That's what provoked me. My dogs and cats always have known everything about me. So, do you believe that your dogs and cats know your emotional state? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. These people spend too much time studying in laboratories and not enough time around dog and cat hair. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to Eloisa in Moore Park. Hey, Eloisa, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you today?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Yes,
great.
hi. Thanks for taking my call. And by the way, about the emotion, if your dogs and cats can feel your emotion, yes, definitely, yes, on that.
I appreciate. Finally, another person that agrees with me. So, I don't want to run out of time. So, what's your question?
All my life. Okay, my question is, we just acquired. Well, my daughter was in the desert, and this dog came into her, took him home, and they said, "Oh, we'll just find a home for them." But apparently, the home is my home. Now the dog is she chews everything. Especially when we leave, he just chews.
Well, this dog was found in the desert. The dog was found in the desert. How old do you think the dog is?
Well, I took him to the vet when we got him. He's about 6 months, so now he's about 7 months and a half. He was skinny.
Okay, so the dog was in the desert, either abandoned by someone, and so therefore a dog uses their mouth as a way of alleviating stress. Chewing to a dog is like having a martini to a human being. Some of the things you need to do. The fact that he was by himself in the desert, I'm assuming that someone abandoned him there. So every time you leave, what happens is the dog just assumes you're not coming back either. The anxiety kicks in, as does the chewing. There are 4 basic reasons a dog will chew. There'll be teething, lack of exercise, a lack of socialization, and in some rare cases, it could be pica. So the bottom line is this. I would increase the exercise factor, increase the mental stimulation. I would rotate the dog's toys. I would put down 6 at the same time, lift them up, put down new ones the next day, then lift those up and put the old ones back down again. Rotation of toys is something I started years ago, is proving to be used by trainers and behaviorists all over the world now because it works. Exercise is the really way to approach it. But again, what I want you to understand is that chewing is his way. So I want you to kind of, even when you're home, go out of the room, come back in 5 minutes later, go out the door, come in another door. Don't make a big deal out of leaving or not. Give the dog some time to adjust. And what I want you to do is some good basic training with the dog. Not that I care whether the dog sits. The reason I'm recommending training is it will build up the dog's confidence and give the dog a positive self-image. And with that positive self-image, they'll feel more confident about themselves and a lot less chewing. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you a copy of my best-selling book, How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. I want you to read the chapter in chewing. Now, the book may take 4 to 6 weeks to get there, but if you either go to my website, thepetshow.com, or my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, you'll be able to see some great tips on chewing there. But again, I want you to understand, I believe this dog was abandoned, and therefore, when you leave, it's more of a anxiety thing, not so much a separation anxiety as abandonment issues. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, we got Rob in Huntington Beach. We got Helene in New Jersey. Alicia in Betty calling from Canada. We'll get to all your calls. Plenty of time. Lots of great stuff to give away. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein, 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number. Check out the YouTube channel. You're going to be glad you did. It's free. Subscribe, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Let's go to Rob in Huntington Beach. Hey, Rob, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Warren. Thank you so much for taking my call. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. I see you have a Great Dane. How old is he and what color?
A year and a half and gray.
Ah, beautiful.
Gray. Year and a half, 150 pounds, beautiful, gorgeous dog, lovely part of the family, loving dog. But we just have a small problem in that the dog will jump up out of excitement on us or family, and wouldn't be so bad if it were an 50-pound dog or something, but 150 pounds, it just becomes a problem. I'm just curious if you have any sort of techniques or something.
I have so many techniques. We're going to run out of time talking about it, but let me ask you, what are you doing right now to stop your Great Dane? What's the dog's name?
Patriot.
Patriot. What are you...
Born on the 4th of July.
Ah, there you go. What have you tried to do to stop Patriot from jumping up on you?
I will... probably the wrong thing. I just say no and I say down.
Okay, so down. Did you train the dog? Do any obedience with the dog?
Very little. We should have done a lot more than we did, and I know we should have done this about a year and a half ago.
That makes no difference. I've trained dogs. Listen, I've trained dogs 13, 14 years old. Here's what I want to do, Rob. I don't want to rush you. Can you hold on? If I have to take the top of the hour, just a couple of minutes, can you hold on?
That's great. Can do it.
Rob, go ahead. What'd you say?
Thank you.
Oh, no, don't go anywhere.
Sure. Absolutely.
We're going to put Rob on hold. We're going to get to you, Helene. We're going to get to you, Alicia in Castaic. We're going to try to get to you, Betty in Canada. Great time to give me a call. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. You know, last week it was pretty darn windy where I live in Santa Monica, and windy all over Southern California. Is the wind dangerous for your dog or your cat? We're going to talk about that. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Do you believe our dogs and cats can sense our emotions? Give me a call. I will send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. I'm Warren Eckstein, and yes, you are listening to The Pet Show. And if you love your dogs and cats, but sometimes you're being outsmarted by them, you have questions, you want to resolve any issues, jumping, humping, digging, scratching, not using the litter box, not coming when you call them, you take your dog for a walk after the news and he schleps you all over the neighborhood, you get the idea. That's what the Pet Show does and has been doing for the last 42 years, helping you resolve any issues you may be having with your pets, and as I say every week, a lot more issues your pets may be having with you. If you're new to the show, let me just remind everyone that if you call into the show and get to talk to me live on the air, you will in fact get a great gift. Well, let me rephrase that. Your dog or cat will get a great gift. Many of the items I give away, we're not giving away biscuits here. A lot of the stuff I give away on the show is worth $25, $35, $45, even $50. So if you have a question or a comment, want to just share a story, answer my question of the day, which is simple. Do you believe dogs and cats can tell how we feel? Do they know our emotions? Give me a call, let me know, and I will send a great gift for your best friend. The number here at the Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. I got some hugs and kisses to give away. That's my own vitamin mineral supplement, one for dogs, one for cats, kitty lickies, Authors Who Gold, Lucy Pet Food Books. Great time to give me a call, and we will help you resolve any issues that your pets may be having with you. Yeah, you heard me, that your pets may be having with you. We were talking before the break, we were talking to Rob in Huntington Beach. Rob has a Great Dane named Patriot. I like the name right off the bat. And his dog is, you said, was 14 or 15 months old?
Actually, you know what? I think I lost some time there with COVID. He's 2.5 years old.
So you only lost a year with your dog, and you wonder why your dog has problems. Come on now. Let's go over a couple of things, okay? Dogs do not jump up on people to be bad. Dogs jump up on people because they want to make that facial contact. In the world of dogs, in the world of animals in the wild, facial contact, well, a lot of other contact, tail, body language, but facial contact is so, so important. So that's one of the reasons they jump. Plus the fact, very often when a dog jumps up, their guardian pushes them down, get off me, leave me alone. The dog jumps up, they push him down. The dog jumps up, they push him down. So the dog is getting a tremendous amount of attention for something you don't want the dog to do. So many, many people in my profession recommend two things. First thing they recommend is ignoring it. When the dog goes to jump on you, turn your back and walk away so the dog's getting absolutely no attention whatsoever for jumping up. Now, that may work very well for you and family members, but if grandma and grandpa are coming over to the house, what happens then? So here's where the good, solid, basic training comes into play. Now, I could care whether your dog sits every time and whether your dog can read the alphabet, but the bottom line is you need to have some positive way of getting the dog at least under control in certain circumstances, like jumping up with a 150-pound dog. So your basic training is really, really critical. It should be fun. It should be upbeat. But there are other things that you can do as well. Very often, in certain cases where the jumping has been really, really severe and going on for a long time, one of the ways I resolved it is basically like this. I had one specific item that the dog only received when people were coming over to the house. And when they were coming over the house, they knock on the door, they ring the bell, the dog's excited. Normally he's going to go to jump on them. But they have this one item that he only gets when people come over. So rather than being excited about jumping on them, he's now excited about this one item he gets for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you can put it away. He's over the excitement of them being over. And if he's still jumping at that point, the basic training comes into play, which is critical. So it's not no, it's not yelling, it's not shaking the dog off, because if you do that, you're getting the dog more excited. Some good, solid, basic, positive training, important. You might want to try that special toy at the front door. That's important important as well. And sometimes, as I said, a lot of people in the field will recommend the ignoring of it rather than confronting it, which does work sometimes. If you ignore it and the dog receives no attention for it, why bother? So I would put all those pieces together and we can resolve that issue. I happen to be a tremendous fan of Great Danes. I did a lot of advanced training with Great Danes when I was stationed in Europe. They're amazing. So what I'm going to do, by the way, Rob, do you believe that your dog knows your emotions?
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I there's no doubt in my mind. They know when I'm upset. They know when I'm happy. They know when I'm blue. Anyway, listen, Rob, don't move on. I'm going to put you on hold. You are getting a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. There's a whole chapter in there on jumping. In the meantime, though, you can always check it out at my website because the book's going to take a while to get there. It doesn't happen overnight. So you can check it out at thepetshow.com. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of super stuff to give away. I came across this article the other day. Things that we can learn from our dogs. We always talk about things we can teach our dogs, but what about things we can learn? Here are some of the things we can learn from our dog. And if you want to add to the list, feel free. Be direct with people. If you're happy, let it show. Always give people a friendly greeting. A real kiss is always sloppy and wet. Scratch where it itches. We have to be so polite, but dogs never care. And play every chance you can get. And there was an old one that I'm going to add. I'm going to add this. Here's the bottom line. There's an old saying among dog people. One of the things you can learn from a dog is, if you see something that bothers you, just pee on it and walk away. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. We are going to, I did say that. We're going to go to Helene in New Jersey. Hey, Helene, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's everything in beautiful Jersey?
Oh, it's just great. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh, it's just you and me. I spent half of my life training dogs down at the Jersey Shore,
Oh, well, that's great. Cape May has a dog beach. It's just beautiful.
The whole Jersey Shore is just, people just don't understand New Jersey. They don't get what New Jersey, and I'm a Long Islander, so I should be prejudiced, but people don't get that New Jersey.
I'm a Philadelphian.
Well, there you go. Are you excited about the game? Are you excited about the game today?
Actually, I was not an Eagles fan because of a couple of Eagles who are cruel to animals. I won't, I will protect you from getting sued.
You can protect me from getting sued. Michael Vick, you can protect me from getting sued. I don't care. I came out strongly against all of those people that abused animals. Anyway.
Well, I didn't like that deer, that hunter who gave all his offensive line rifles. I didn't like that.
Yeah, well, anyway, what can I do to help you out today?
Well, I'm calling to reaffirm things you've taught me, and I'll be brief. Scientists, I think some of them got their degrees at big box stores. It doesn't take a scientist to see that animals have emotion. Emotion equals survival. And if you study a cat or a dog's face, or even another kind of species, you can tell the difference between fear and joy. And the next point is, I only adopt senior animals now, but when I was young, I would walk into a shelter and I could never, ever leave one kitten alone in that cage and take another away. I could never separate a family.
Hey, listen, you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir. When I lived in New York, I had 30 dogs up in my little sanctuary in upstate New York. I had 27 cats. I did. Give me. I'm in the shelter. Give me them.
And you've had pigs too.
Two of them, Spotty and Corky. Give me them. And chickens and ducks. Give me them. I'm taking them all out of the shelter. Guinea pigs. Take them out of the shelter. I want to take them all. I don't have a whole lot of time, but
if I had room, I'd have all of them.
There you would. But your heart's in the right place. What type of pets do you have now?
I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to thank you for Memoirs of a Pet Therapist. I couldn't put it down. And I want to send my love to Denise and Willie and Molly And one more thing, if I have time, I have a beautiful story for your audience.
Go ahead.
One year I called you about a cat of mine who was being bullied by other cats. The ones who bullied her have passed the Rainbow Bridge. There was a younger one who would always approach her and try to kiss her, and she would hiss. And he never gave up. Day after day after day, he would go to her face and lick it, and she would kiss her. She would hiss at him, and then one day she kissed him back. Okay. And now they're friends.
What a great story. What a great story. Anyway, I got to move on, Helen. Here's the one. I'm putting you on hold. I'm sending you some kitty lickies for your cats. What a great call. I've been doing this for a while. Great. And by the way, I have two lines open. I don't know why. I never have lines open on the show. Super Bowl problem, maybe. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Bottom line is I still got hugs and kisses to give away. Some of these items like $50. Hugs and kisses, Lucy Pet Food. You just heard me give away some kitty lickies, copies of my book. I'd love to hear from you guys, even if you just want to answer the question about whether or not you believe that your dogs and cats know how you feel. Come on. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any other questions, jumping, humping, digging, scratching, does your dog like to, the new article came out that dogs enjoy watching football. They love watching football with their guardians. I guess it's all the movement on TV. So does your dog or cat watch TV with you? Is your dog or cat going to watch the Super Bowl with you tomorrow? Give me a call. Let me know. I'll send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I also want to hear, and I know there's some of you out there. My Molly and Willie were at a high kill shelter here in Southern California, and Molly and Willie were litter mates. And there's all kinds of professionals out there that are saying that never, ever, ever, don't ever adopt two dogs from the same litter. Don't ever adopt two cats from the same litter. It never works out. That's what they say. That's not what Warren says. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about, it's kind of an interesting subject. What is litter mate syndrome and a bonded pair? So I would love to hear from you. You guys have no idea how your voices make such a difference in the world of animals. If you live with a bonded pair of dogs, if you live with a bonded pair of cats, if you live with litter mates, dogs or cats from the same litter, I want to hear from you, because your conversation with me can actually encourage other people to go out and save two dogs or two cats at a time. I believe that there's no difference. A little imprinting on litter mates. We'll talk about that later. But if you have a bonded pair, give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. It's important, and I will send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number. Plenty of time for your calls. And as I said, lots of pretty amazing stuff I'll be giving away on this show as well. But right now, I want to talk to you a little bit about Lucy Pet Food. You know, My buddy, Soupy Sales. I knew Soupy pretty well. We used to walk down the street sometimes in New York City, and he would absolutely just break me up. Hey, we are back on the show, 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Just before I get back to the phones, Alicia, Michelle, Betty, we're going to get to your calls. I want you to hear me out on this, because I got a call this week from someone talking about why does my dog react differently when it's windy outside. You know, we had Santa Ana winds all over the place. I posted this, by the way, on my Facebook page and my Instagram page, so you should follow me there as well. It's facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. Facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. All right, here's the deal. And then I'm going to get to Alicia, Michelle, and Brian. On windy days, I wrote this week, on windy days, many dogs get easily distracted. You're not imagining things if you sense your dog pulling more on the leash on windy days. Why? Why is that? There's likely a good chance that because the wind stirs up lots of different scents that cause dogs to become distracted. The dogs may therefore pull you in the direction of the wind in an effort to follow scents, especially if he's a dog who is highly driven. Wind can therefore carry scents towards the dog or away from the dog, causing changes in the dog's behavior. So simple, and no one else talks about this but yours truly. So just remember, when you take your dogs for a walk and it's windy outside, understand that they're going to be distracted because dogs' nose is like our eyes. So we're looking at different things blowing around. The dogs are smelling all these things blowing around. So windy conditions, be really, really careful when walking your pets. Let's get back to the phone lines. We're going to go first to Castaic and Alicia. Then we got Brian, Michelle. Hey, Alicia, welcome to the show.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm doing fine, sir. Yes, I do know about your emotions, okay? Because we have 3 dogs, and especially my little one, whose name is Casey. And I had an experience yesterday. I was talking to my grandson, and I said, did you brush your teeth right now early this morning? And he wouldn't answer me, and I was being nice. So I said, did you brush your teeth? He wouldn't answer. So, did you brush your teeth? And my little girl, she was laying next to me. She gets up and she goes next to my little grandson. I go, I'm sorry, Mama. I didn't mean to yell. But it seems like every time that my daughter is talking to the boys, there are 2 boys, and she talks very loud to them. So what happens that, like I said, we have 3 dogs. They all disappear.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting point you brought up. I did a segment on that not too long ago, why the reasons you should never argue with your significant other or your children when the dog or cat's around, because the louder the voice, the more dominant the voice, the more emotional it affects your dog or cat. So I've literally gone into homes where the people were, I don't know how they stayed married, but they would fight, no pun intended, like cats and dogs all the time. And the dogs were just totally catatonic when they started to fight. It would drive. So you have to, just like you have to understand how to behave in front of children, you need to know how to behave in front of your pets, because certain arguments and certain things and the loudness and the yelling can really affect them. Anyway, I got to move on. So how many dogs do you have now, Alicia?
We have 3. We have a terrier. They're all small little dogs. A terrier, a chihuahua, and Casey, who looks like a miniature boxer.
All right, so you put them all together. Put them all together. You got one whole dog, Alicia. Anyway, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm sending you some Lucy pet food, and I appreciate that phone call. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Yeah, I know they're telling me to take. I'm going to go to your call, but I don't know if I can. Hey, Betty, you with me? Hello, Betty.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, but I don't know if we can play anything on the air because it references Taco Bell, which would be like a commercial.
Well, no. It's my little chihuahua. Her name is Taco Bella.
Oh, okay, so it's your dog's name.
You're talking about, pets being intuitive, but I'm also intuitive to my pets. And this is my little 6-inch chihuahua, and she has a message for you.
I'm ready.
Are you there?
I'm listening.
Oh, sugar. Did you hear it?
No, what did she say?
I think I'm in love.
I'm having trouble. I know she's saying something.
I think I'm in love.
Oh, I think I'm in love. That's your dog's talking, saying, I think I'm in love. All right, so listen, after you speak to the pet psychologist, maybe you need a conversation with your own therapist. That's all I got to say. Anyway, no, that's great, and I really appreciate that. I think it was really adorable. Anyway, I'm putting you on hold, and I'm going to send you, for your cat, we're going to send you some, you're in Canada. I don't know what I'm going to send you. We're going to send you, you know what, I'm probably going to wind up sending you some hugs and kisses for your cat. Great call, by the way. I wasn't really sure what the cat was saying. The cat was saying, I love you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I like that. I love that. But you know what? They don't have to talk to you. If you spend time with a dog or cat or any animal, you know they love you. You can just look in there. You can feel it. You know, people say, Warren, are you psychic? And the answer is absolutely not. I'm not psychic at all. But when I'm with an animal, and whatever type of animal I may be with, I work with them all, whatever animal I'm with, there's some type of unexplained feeling or unexplained relationship that takes place without verbalizing it. You just there's something special there, and if you're inhibited and you think that humans are so much, you'll never get it. But if you get rid of that human ego and just spend some time down at the level with your dog or your cat, it's pretty incredible, pretty incredible of what you'll learn and what you'll understand. It's just amazing to me. Great call, by the way. Well, that's not the first time a dog. I did a TV show. I mean, I think, was it, you know, actually, you remember, you guys are old enough to remember the Phil Donahue show? I was a guest on the Phil Donahue show many years ago, before my hair was gray. And there was a talking dog on the show with me. It wasn't my talking dog, but there was a talking dog on the show with me. And the dog did say, not only I love you, said, Warren, I love you. I wish I had a recording of that. Maybe I can dig one up. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. You have a question or comment. Your dog is humping, jumping, digging. Your cat is scratching your furniture. Maybe your cat's not using a litter box. He peed on your bed. You have a new cat, and it's like the Armageddon in your home because the cats don't get along. You have a new boyfriend or a new girlfriend, and your dog or cat isn't thrilled about the new person that is living in their home. A great time to give me a call. As I said, as I always do on the Pet Show, so many of the items I give away, not only the fact that they're expensive, that's secondary, but very often the items I'm giving you are related to the problem or the situation that you might be having with your dog or cat. So if you have a question or a comment, just want to share a story, I know you do, Michelle, we're going to get to you in a little bit. If you just want to share a story about your dog or cat, and I want to hear from people that have a bonded pair. They don't have to be litter mates, but I want to hear from people that have a bonded pair of dogs that get along well. But especially if you have litter mates, whether it be feline litter mates or canine litter mates, because all the new studies saying litter mate syndrome. Litter mate syndrome refers to behavioral issues that arise when two or more sibling puppies are raised together. I don't buy it at all. Do you buy it? Give me a call and let me know if you have a pair of bonded litter mates or just a pair of bonded dogs, and I promise I will send you a fabulous gift. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Michelle, Brian, don't go anywhere. Let me take a quick break. Then we will get back to all of your calls. While I'm not taking a break, by the way, that's the best time to call me. 866-870-5752. We got a lot of stuff coming up here. Do you know what gentle whiskers are? Genal whiskers. You know what they are? Why does your dog have whiskers on their cheeks? Any idea? Well, I got the answer coming up. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. But right now, I want your help. And here's And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein, 866-870 KRLA, the phone number. We're going to go to Michelle. We have Brian in Valley Glen, Peter in Newport Beach, Tony in Oak Park. Let me just go to West LA and Michelle first. Hey, Michelle, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely, like you're right next to me, Michelle.
Well, so Warren, this is Michelle, your favorite grocery store friend.
Oh, if I knew it was you, I would have. Go ahead.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good.
So, Warren, I have two quick stories for you about your litter mate. Well, one litter mate and one non-litter mate. And I'll try to make it quick. And please tell me if I'm taking too long. Our dogs were Belle and Penny. We lost Belle at 17 and a half back in July. We still have Penny. She's 15 and a half. But when we got, Belle was 2 years old when we got baby Penny. They're both little tiny terrier and poodle. And Belle wanted nothing to do with Penny. She wanted to be an only child for day after day, month after month, year after year. Penny, like that very lovely lady Helene just shared, every day tried, went up to Belle, would try to get next to her, sit with her. Belle wanted nothing to do with her. After about 7 years, finally, Belle accepted Penny. They started sitting next to each other, sleeping in the same, like little area and they loved each other. And now, unfortunately, Belle's gone and Penny's still here, but it was a love story ultimately.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet, there you go.
It was Juliet and Juliet.
Juliet and Juliet. I'm sorry, I forgot it's 2020.
The second story, Warren, is litter mate story. In my neighborhood, I observed my neighbors have like a front yard that's penned in, and they have this sweet little white mop pup that's always out in the yard, and it was kind of older, and it wouldn't bark. One day I walked by, and there's this adorable little baby terrier puppy barking his little head off. So I'm talking to her. She said, oh, yeah, we adopted it. And then a couple weeks later, she says, oh, I couldn't leave the brother. So she brings the brother home. And now all three dogs are outside, and the two dogs are barking their heads off the brothers. Week after week, I'd go by. And finally, she was telling me that they're barking, and what do I do every time people walk by? So I actually said, go to Warren's website and get the dog horn. I said, that's awesome. Well, just to let you know, a couple months later, these little brothers, not only do they get along beautifully, they don't bark hardly at all when people walk by anymore. I was amazed.
Well, let me share this with you, Michelle. This is the reason that professionals say you should never adopt or buy siblings. Number one, something they call hyper-attachment. Another psychological word. Inter-dog aggression, another reason. Depression due to mourning, I understand that. When one goes, the other one's going to mourn, but they don't have to be litter mates to do that. Jealousy, right. If one dog thinks it's getting more attention. Neophobia, fearful of the unknown, and separation. It's all, listen, I live with Molly and Willie. Molly and Willie are litter mates, okay? Totally opposite in personality, but I got them when they were older. They're amazing. So much of this BS you hear about from so-called professionals. Never adopt litter mates. What do you want to do? Leave them in a shelter? Never get a bonded? Unbelievable. Anyway, I got to move on, Michelle. Right. Michelle, you know what? I'm putting you on hold. I'm sending you a T-shirt because you and your family have been so great to dogs over the years. God. 866-870 KRLA. It makes me crazy when I hear stupid advice. Hey, Brian, Valley Glen, welcome to the Pet Show.
Thanks very much, Warren. I've spoken to you quite a few times. It was about 5 years ago when I got my two cats. And I was so enthralled. They were about 8 weeks old. And I was looking for a new dog in the East Valley because I had just lost one of my pair. And I wandered into the cat house, and there were these two little dears. And I thought, well, I cannot separate them. They're little, what do you call them?
Litter mates.
One with white shirt, white fronts.
Oh, tuxedos. We call them tuxedos. Yeah, good.
And these were so beautiful and wonderful together that I called up the East Valley and said, and please, I've been to you many times, but you've never offered two cats, so please offer two cats. And they're now 5, and they sleep on me. And one has a place between my legs above my knees, and the other one has a place below my knees. And the other day, one got into the wrong place, and there was a little bit of a fight.
Brian, it sounds to me like you did exactly the right thing in adopting. It's a great story. So the two cats got along with it. You still have the two cats?
I'm sorry, Warren, you faded.
Do you still have the two cats? Do you still have both cats?
Yeah, I only have one dog now because I lost one, but I'm looking for another one.
Yeah,
but I've had two cats for so long, and this is the first time I've had a pair born together.
And they get along, and that just contradicts what everyone else is saying. Everyone else is saying that you shouldn't get litter mates, but you're just proof of the pudding. Anyway, I got to move on, Brian. But I'm putting you on hold. You know what, Brian? I am going to send you some kitty lickies also for your cats, and it's a great call, by the way. 866-870 KRLA. That is the phone number. Hey, just a reminder, a couple of things. This show goes so fast. You all know I do my national show right after this, but during the week, I do a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. It's relatively new that I'm doing all these videos, but there's some great videos. Some are short, just a minute or less. Some are longer, asking questions, and I answer some questions there. So check out the YouTube channel. Subscribe. It's free. I'm telling you, you're really going to enjoy a lot of the stuff I put there. Plus, there's old videos of me on the Mickey Mouse Club, and I don't want to talk about how many years I've been doing it. So check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Let me go to, we're going to get to Gene. We'll get to Tony, but right now I believe Brian Peter is up next in Newport Beach. Hey, Peter, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing super. How about yourself?
Great, Warren. You have a great show, and I wanted just to tell you, I've got two men. They're 8 years old now, Bo and TJ, and they are the greatest. They're litter mates, right? They were wild. We got them, I bet, 6-7 weeks old, maybe, not sure. And they love each other. They're jealous of each other, but it's all good.
Listen, I love my sister. An awful lot. But there are times that we're not in the greatest with each other,
But, oh yeah. One time TJ wandered a little bit, was away from the house for a couple days, and Bo, I thought, he was really depressed. It was his buddy was gone, and really, when we got TJ back, Bo was like, "Hey, don't ever." He was like mad at him. You could tell, like, "Don't ever do that again."
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's an interesting thought. And one of the reasons I say that is because there are certain things that people that have a bonded pair or a litter mate should do. I didn't hear at the beginning. Did you say cats or dogs? I didn't hear at the beginning.
A cat.
Okay.
Cat. Two male cats. Yeah.
So don't. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm sending you some my own hugs and kisses. But if you have a bonded pair, and I'm going to get to you, Jean, Ann, and Tony. If you have a bonded pair, or let's say you do adopt litter mates, which I highly recommend, it's a great idea. You need to treat them the same way parents of twin humans properly treat them. Don't dress them the same. Give them equal time, separate time. They're not going to be the same. Don't expect them to respond the same way all the time. Spend time, and especially if they're dogs. One of the things I advocate is they can spend time together, but from a training perspective, train one at a time. And then you can have someone else train the other one with you after that. They need that individual, but they also need that bonding time. And if you take the time with siblings, whether they be litter mates or a bonded pair, you have to give them the opportunity to be individual and together at the same time, little by little. It'll make all the difference in the world for you. Listen, I've had as many as 30 dogs at one time. Were they all best friends? Were they all bonded? I'd love to say they were, but they weren't. But you know what? I could put them all together, and I did, in an area, and they would all get along with each other. It's just amazing how, if you take the time to avoid the problems, most of the behavioral issues in terms of aggressive or assertive behavior between dogs are created because the guardians don't know what they're doing. They're spending more time with one, less time with the other. They like one more than they like the other, or one person does this, one person does that. If you bring them up properly, no different than twin boys, twin girls in the human world, you will find that they will be together, they will be incredibly bonded, they will love each other, but they'll also have a little bit of that independence independence, which can make all the difference in the world. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to get to Tony. We're going to get to Jean in Rancho Cucamonga, and we're also going to get to Ann. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. The cat with the flashlight is, hey, listen, someone asked me this week, Warren, why do dogs bark for no reason? And I answered it in one sentence. Man, a few words. I said sometimes barking is used to repel, and sometimes barking is used to attract. They didn't know how to respond. Just simple. It is that simple. Sometimes they bark because they want to get rid of somebody, and sometimes they bark because they want somebody to come hang out and play with them. But that's most of the reasons why dogs bark. All right, let me get back to the phone lines here. Let's go to Oak Park. And Tony. Hey, Tony. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Oh, hey, thank you. By the way, here's a shout-out to Lucky Lucy. Wait a minute. Lucky, come on. Lucky, get in here. I got to take care of my dog. Lucky. Hey, monster dog, come on.
Don't make me come to your house, Tony, and train those dogs now. Come on.
No, they're at the dog park. Just
Oh,
leave the door open. He'll come.
So what's your question for me?
Okay, so a shout out to Lucy Pet Products. My dogs shine on that stuff.
I'm so glad. Well, otherwise I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't believe in it so much.
So, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the reason I do have a bonded pair of Chihuahuas, I call them the twins. Come on, twins. They are amazing. They play together. One, of course, is the alpha dog. But, you know, they're the sweetest dogs. They listen to you. They're just amazing little guys.
Well, you know, you use the term alpha, but let me tell you the way bonded litters should respond, like my guys. Sometimes Willie's in charge, and sometimes Molly's in charge. Other times, Willie's in charge. They go back and forth. Now, as long as they go back and forth when they're playing rough with each other, that's normal behavior. And, you know, mine are Chihuahua, oh, God, come on, Warren. Pinscher mixes.
Yeah, I call them the Chihuahua Cartel.
The Chihuahua Cartel. What are their names again? What are their names?
Nani and Solo.
Nani and Solo. Being that you like Nani and Solo so much, and you like Lucy, and you like Lucy Pet Food so much, I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you some Lucy Pet Food for your bonded Chihuahua. See, that's the problem. There are so many people out there. I don't want to sound egotistical, and believe me, I don't mean to be. You guys have been listening to me for 42 years. But there are so many people out there. All of a sudden, in the last 5 years, everyone is an animal expert. Everyone is a behaviorist. Have you met anyone that's not a dog trainer yet out there? I'm still looking for those people. You know, years ago, there was a couple of us. So the bottom line is there is some great advice out there, and there have been some major, major improvements in people understanding the behavior, the psychology, the emotions of dogs and cats. And knock on wood, I believe I had an awful lot to do with that over the 42 years. But the bottom line is there are people out there that still give advice. Like you heard the term, she has 2 Chihuahuas. You heard her use the word alpha. Everyone uses the word alpha. I had someone call me this week, they had an alpha bird. What is an alpha? An alpha is not the most dominant. An alpha is not the toughest. An alpha is the best one to keep the breed or that group going on. That's why the alpha in a wolf pack is the best breeding pair in the wolf pack. It's real important to understand that stuff, because when people start using and tossing around the word alpha this, and he's the alpha male and the alpha this, I don't understand it. You know, I've been studying this for a lot of years, both in this country and pretty much every continent. And nothing bugs me more than when people use the term alpha in terms of describing their dog as being dominant. And once you start using that term alpha, and you start believing that term alpha, you can actually create a dominant situation. Why does there have to be someone in charge in a family? If everyone in the family understands each other and everyone in the family respects each other, that's the way it should be. I don't want my dogs to ever be submissive to me. I don't want my dogs to ever be subservient to me. I want my dogs to be part of my family. Are there times I'm going to be upset with them? Sure. But there's also times they're going to be upset with me. But this whole alpha myth out there that you got to be the boss, you got to be in charge, you got to be tough, you got to roll a dog over, you got to... It's insanity. It's insanity. How are all the tens of thousands and thousands of dogs trained? And many of the one I worked with in some real advanced training in Europe and Southeast, how did these dogs understand before everyone all of a sudden started using the term alpha? I don't get it. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. If you like me and you trust me,
I called.
And we are back on the Pet Show. We're not going to have time to take another call, but you know by now, the minute I get off the air here, I start my national and Canadian show with Radio America Armed Forces Radio. Write this number down. You can start calling at 1 o'clock. You'll be my first callers because the show starts at 5 minutes after when the rest of the country will kick in. So write this number down. Same type of show. I give away the same type of gifts. This is the number to start calling at 1 o'clock, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Remember, join me on my YouTube channel. Lots of great information, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Thank you, Suzette. Thank you, Alex. Until next week, you know what to do by now. Give all your pets a big hug and a kiss for you, one between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein, and you've been listening to The Pet Show.